Hello, this is Nicole with Angelic Therapy and Healing, bringing you a general reading for the week of Monday, July 31st through Sunday, August 6th. It is August. It is August. I cannot believe how quickly this year it's just flown by. It's in a blink of an eye. It has flown by. So welcome to the channel. For those of you that are new, glad to have you here. Hopefully you will get some information in today's reading that will help with your journey. For those of you that have been here for a while, thank you for hanging in there with me. Thank you for your patience as I work through this retirement process of mine. Because, as mentioned last week, I won't be able to open the web page for new clients until my retirement is complete, because I'm already booked a couple months out with current clients. So please continue to be patient with me. And as I do come across, there have been a couple of new clients that I take on. So for those of you that there are serious health concerns, health issues that need to be addressed, that you need healing sessions for, I have been, in some special cases, bringing on new clients. So if you have serious physical ailment condition that needs a healing session, send me a message and I will see what I can do to get you squeezed in, to get you taken care of. So let's go ahead and get started. I have prayed over the cards, shuffled them. Ooh. I have asked that each of you receives at least one message. The thing to remember with this is it is a reading for a lot of people. So you may find, let's move these over. You may find that there's only like one message for you. And that's okay, because that means life isn't too bad. So for me, I would take it. But it is for a large number of people. For those of you that care about the cards, I am pulling from my Gilded Tarot. I'm also at some point going to pull, let me just make sure you guys can see that. I'm going to pull, actually, bottom of the deck. We'll hit that at some point. I will pull a card from Denise Lynn's Gateway Oracle, Doreen Virtue's Archangel Michael, as well as her Mary Queen of Angels deck. I have prayed over, shuffled, and prepared my Sibylas and my Gilded Lenormands and my Fintasicle Kippers. So as we need clarifiers, if we need them, we will pull those. So let me make sure you guys can see this real quick. Oh, wow, that's good. Okay, so let's see what we have. Actually, I'm going to just pull the bottom of the deck there. Look at that. Okay, let's get those out of the way. I will knock them over. Okay, so remember, this is bottom of the deck. Put it somewhere that you guys can see it. Okay. So what we have is the situation, the lesson that has not yet been learned, how you have recently muddied the waters, what is unknown to you, and then what the angels are recommending that you do. So let's see here. So right out the gate, we do have a reversal card. I don't typically read reversals, but that came out for a reason, so we're going to keep it. Okay. So we've got two, we actually even have those two pillars, two beams of light. We even have two dogs. You're trying to make a decision. You've come to a pivotal point that you need to make a decision. And you have you have two pentacles as the situation. Lesson not learned is the Ace of Swords in reverse. How you've recently muddied the water. You have Three of Cups. What's unknown to you is Two of Wands, and then what's recommended is the Moon. Now we have Two Pentacles, Two of Wands, two twos in a reading. It's all about needing to make a choice, and for some of you, it's not going to be a choice that's popular with masses. It is also, two twos speak of harmonious changes, communications. It can also speak of things in opposition, opposing factors. So like two completely different sides of a story, or two completely different people. And it's also about, so for some of you, this decision, there's been some animosity. It's about having lines that have been drawn in the sand. It can also be for some of you that you're yearning for a partner. For some of you, you know, 2-2s it signifies that you're dating a lot. You just play in the field. Now, you see we have this wheel on the moon, and it's interesting. We like have the wheel there. We have the moon. We have the moon again. We have the moon again. The moon is all about our intuition. And the wheel, it's the wheel is actually a major arcana card. It's all about karma and destiny. So for many of you that are trying to make this big decision, it's actually tied to karma. And to not look at karma like it's some big negative thing, because karma, if you look at it in short, karma, it's lessons. It's lessons that we've learned. You know, what we put out, we'll receive. If we're doing things right, we'll receive things right. But if there's a lesson that we're supposed to learn, that's a karmic thing. That's a destined thing. It's meant to improve us. It's meant to elevate us. It's meant to get us to a better state. And right now, for those of you that, where is it? So Saturn is the king of karma. And Saturn right now is retrograde in Sagittarius. And it entered that retrograde zone December, the very end of December, like the 30th or 31st. And it went full retrograde the very beginning of April, first few days, like 5th or 6th of April. It went into full retrograde. But when Saturn is in retrograde, it's all about clearing our karma, really learning those lessons that like we are refusing to learn, letting things go, shifting our personality traits and our behaviors that need to be tweaked. And it can be difficult. It's not an easy thing to really learn those lessons and those things that are holding us back. When Saturn is retrograde in our sign, it forces us to release those things. So for those of you that are Sagittarius, this has been a very difficult, trying time. And for those of you that are Scorpio as well, it's interesting. So I'm a Scorpio sun, and my moon sign is Sagittarius, and my twin flame, he's a Sagittarius with a Scorpio moon sign. And what happened is Saturn went retrograde into Sagittarius the very end of December. Well, entered that zone end of December, went full on retrograde at the very beginning of April. But what happened in July, it was like mid-July, it went into Scorpio. So those of you that are Scorpio, Saturn was retrograde in your sign last year. So you were healing and releasing and learning karma and letting things go. It was a bumpy ride. Now you're getting to relive that bumpy ride for a little bit, because it's going to stay in Scorpio through October 8th. But the good news is, once it gets to it'll still be in the zone. So for some of you that are Scorpio, you're still being forced to let things go. For Sagittarius, you're definitely being forced to let things go. Now, the Saturn in its optimum positive side, Saturn's all about discipline, responsibility, stability, being respectable, being reliable. So for those of you that are having Saturn touching, so if any of you have Scorpio or Sagittarius somewhere in your chart, this is really affecting you. And I feel like many of you in this situation, it's because you're being forced to learn a lesson. You're being forced to let something go that you're not letting go of. Now, because the situation it's Two of Pentacles. And do you see how he's juggling these two pentacles? It's all about a choice. It's about balancing things. It's about juggling a lot. So, you could be juggling work, and you could also be juggling your home life. You could be juggling multiple people. You could be juggling, trying to juggle your emotions versus your logic. But it's really, since Pentacles for most of you, it's like material, earthly, grounded things. So for a lot of you, you're not actually wanting to juggle your emotions, but you're overdoing it. You're juggling too much. You're juggling too much. And for some of you, it's like you're so focused. Yeah, he's focused on like this big coin. He's like staring at it. So for some of you, you're so focused on money and achievement and meeting goals that at the expense of you've lost out on the quality of life and overall happiness in life. But you have come to a point that you have to make a choice. And those of you that are in this situation that you have been postponing making this decision and choice, you're filled with a lot of anxiety, a lot of worry. There's not happiness. Now, for some of you, they're saying it's almost like you're putting on a facade of happiness. You see these 2 coins, there's like this rainbow that's stretching above it. But he looks really sad. So for some of you, it's almost like you're putting up this front as though you're happy, everything's great, you're juggling things just fine, but you're not. You're stuck in this miserable darkness. It's almost like you want to have your cake and you want to eat it too. So for some of you, you've had difficulty launching new things, launching new projects, launching new beginnings. You've had nothing but one obstacle, one delay after the other. Some of you feel like you have been stuck in some exhaustive loop. And it's because you're going in the wrong direction. See how like this ship is leaving? It's going away from him. So for some of you, you have not, again, you have the moon here. Moon is all about your intuition. You haven't been listening to your intuition. You haven't been listening to those signs. You have been instead going in the opposite direction of your destiny, in the opposite direction of where you are destined to go. And because of that, you've had nonstop turbulence, delays, obstacles, blocks, you name it, it's come up. But it's because you have to make a choice. And you have to make the right choice. Because you'll find when you make the right choice, things will go smoothly. You'll have smooth sailing. You won't have all these issues and delays and frustrations. Everything will just come together beautifully. You'll actually have true happiness. And you also won't feel like you're overwhelmed by juggling, because for some of you, you're really starting to be overwhelmed by this juggling game that you're doing. And for most of you, it is juggling. You're trying to choose between 2 people. But they're saying, there's like green. There's like this little green bubble at the top. They're giving you the go, the green light. Go, make the decision. You'll get out of this. See, like he's standing on grass. It's not even grass. It's like dark, and because things are hidden. Things are in the shadows of the moon. But he has everything that he needs. He just has to make the decision. You have to make the decision. And they're saying for some of you, like the right decision, because the decisions up to this point, because you have been ignoring your intuition, because you have been going against the flow, because you've been going against what you've been guided to do, that's why you've just been stuck in turmoil and strife and conflicts. Now, it's interesting because the lesson that you have not learned, you have this in reverse. Now I'm going to turn it upright real quick while I explain what this card is. So upright, this card is all about, piercing through the truth, getting through all the confusion, getting ourselves some clarity. Clouds signify confusion. Not being able to see things clearly, but the sword will just cut through that stuff. And it's all about communication. But it's about, using the sword the right way so that you can see things clearly. You can see the situation clearly. You can see people clearly. You can see the world clearly, so that you can communicate well, so that you can do that all in order to create the healthy, happy life that you desire. Actually bring it into reality, bring it to fruition. And this is all about, new determination, actually having the will, the strength, the determination to forge forward and do that, seeing the truth versus the false, the lies, the deceit, getting through that. Breaking free of those chains. You see how there's chains? So for some of you, you have felt chained and bound to this person, this situation that you're supposed to be breaking free of. Because in reverse, this card is all about, it's like it's screaming, do not do it. Don't do it. Stop. It's all about, fight or flight. So for for some of you, you have a person situation. For most of you, it's a person that you were supposed to leave. But, and it has been fight or flight, like the entire time that you've known this person. But currently things are in a standstill. You're not making a decision because it's like you're just exhausted. You can't deal with it anymore. So you've taken flight. It's like you're not even speaking to that person anymore, but you've not closed that chapter yet. You have not finished learning this lesson yet. And for some of you, you have tried to force this to come together. So for many of you, it's like a relationship. You tried to force this relationship to come together. And for some of you, it was because you were stuck, in your ego. Because you know how they were saying, some of you with the multiple twos, it's about making a decision that, many other people are not going to be pleased with. So you have stayed with this person out of obligation. And for some of you, it's also because of ego. So like maybe they have a family member, maybe they're a person that's like in the spotlight. Maybe they're a celebrity. And you like the benefits of that because that just makes you feel so good, makes you puff out your chest. But that's just your ego. So you've held on to this person, this situation. For some of you, it's almost like a business partnership. But you've held on to it for egotistical reasons. For some of you, even for like money. But you're resisting the call. You're being divinely called to let them go and do something else. But because you have not surrendered your ego, because you have not let them go, it's as though you're still forcing your own will. So instead of being in a state of not my will being done, but thy will being done, because this is something divine, you're divinely being led to let this person go. It was simply a lesson. But there's been a lot of aggression tied to this person's situation. So in reverse, this. So with trying to force this to come together, for some of you, it's ended like in complete disaster. There was total destruction. Either you cut them off or they've cut you off at this point. Because also, upright, it's all about communications. You're not even talking to each other at this point. They've left you in the cold. Some of you could have left them in the cold. But there's zero communication happening. But there's been one obstacle. So for those of you that this is a relationship, could be a business partnership that you've tried to forge and force and bring to fruition. And for most of you, it is a romantic relationship, but you've tried and you've forced it and you've tried to make it work and you've tried. But every time you try it, it ends in disaster. There's nonstop obstacles and delays. It's like it's a constant fight to make it happen. But that's because they're saying, don't do it. Stop. Let that person go. They were simply a lesson for you. The reason it's been a disaster filled with obstacles and heartbreak and strife the entire time is because it's not meant for you. They're trying to take you somewhere better, which is why they were saying, make the right choice this time. Because for some of you, you keep making the choice to go back to them. And for some of you, you are even contemplating it again. And for some of you that are like Sagittarius or Scorpio, it's almost like they're trying to beat you in the head with a sword. Stop doing this. You won't find the happiness that you desire until you release yourself. You break those chains from them. You haven't learned your lesson. And for those of you that are, having to deal with Saturn, and for those of you that are going to have Saturn coming in your sign in the future, but all of us collectively are at a pivotal point because of the ascension process that we have to learn these karmic lessons. We have to release these lessons. We have to release these things that aren't serving us. But for those of you that are within that Saturn retrograde, the intensity is just getting worse and worse and worse. And it's because for some, if the decision is not made, you could be stuck with this painful situation for many more years to come. They're trying to get you to make your decision by August. Because if not, this hellacious situation, this hellacious person that you've had to deal with, you're going to be stuck with them. Or you're going to seal that karma. So for some of you, that's love. Even though you've tried to force this relationship with this person, it still has been lonely. It's not been fulfilling. It's not brought you happiness or joy. You will remain in a state of unhappiness and remain in a state of just feeling trapped. But they're saying to break yourself free of that. You'll be able to offer your love to someone. You will actually be able to get the things that you desire. You'll be in a relationship, they're saying, because it was interesting when I took the card off the bottom of the deck. The next one was Ace of Cups. This is all about offering your love. You will be able to, if you let them go, finally learn that lesson and really sit down to look at, okay, what was it I was supposed to learn from this person? How was I supposed to grow? How was I supposed to evolve? What is it that they keep triggering in me? Because for some of you, they really push your buttons. It's been filled with arguments for years. They just know how to push your buttons. It's because there's something deep in you that needs to be healed that you have not addressed. There's a lesson you have not learned. But if you can learn that lesson, if you can let them go, break yourself free of that, you can get yourself into a relationship where you won't be feeling lonely. You won't feel as though you're isolated. It will be requited love. Now, as far as how you have recently muddied the waters, you have the Three of Cups. And this card, it's all about, celebrations, feeling the depth of our emotions, pleasure. It also is about, the end of difficulties. For some, it could speak about engagement, pregnancy, but it's also about, recovering, seeing and celebrating the simple joys in life, not missing out on those, because sometimes we can really get stuck on focusing on the problems that we have instead of focusing on the positive things in our life. Even if it's a little thing like, oh my gosh, the sun's out today. That's something to celebrate. But if we focus all of our energy on the things that we don't have, we end up creating more of that. Okay. So, for some of you, you've muddied the waters because you're trying to choose between two people. So for some of you, and you can change the sexes accordingly, you're a man trying to choose between two women. You see these women dancing up in the heavens. You've brought a third woman into this mix. So when you should be focused on recovering and healing your heart, learning this lesson, seeing the truth of the situation, instead what you've done is you've stopped all communication with that person to focus on this new person that you brought into the mix. So you're not doing your work. You're not closing this chapter. You're not learning. You're not healing. You're not recovering from that so you can move forward. And in the mix, it's going to cause, because for those of you that this is a situation in love, there's going to be some heartbreak and heartache in it, and there already has been. But for some of you, you brought another person into the mix. For some of you, you're not even interested in that person. You're just using it so you don't have to think about the one that you're to be letting go of. Now, for some of you, so for some of you that this is a twin flame connection. So your masculine has pushed you away, left you in the cold. It has left kind of like a hole in your heart, a hole in your soul. And you have, what's muddied your waters is you aren't celebrating the little things in life. You've lost the joy in things. And for twins, it really is a difficult thing. It really is, because you can have finished your healing work, you can be doing your spiritual work and spiritual practice, but your heart, everything in your soul, your body longs and aches for your twin. And it does leave you in a state of sadness. But what happens is, it is a law of attraction thing. So, and especially with twins, if you're stuck in a state of sadness because he's out with other women, or he's pushed away, he's not making a decision, not talking, not communicating, so you're in a state of despair, a state of sadness, a state of depression, you're mirrors of each other. He's going to feel that as well. And if you're depends on where you are at in the journey, but if you're further along in the journey, you're having telepathic communications. You're already feeling each other's emotions. So he's feeling your emotions. He's hearing your thoughts. And they're sad. They're not uplifting. They're not filled with joy. And then law of attraction, then that's what you're attracting to yourself. Then you're wondering, oh my gosh, why do I just feel like I'm stuck everywhere in life? And why do I feel like things just aren't happy and things aren't moving? It's time to raise your vibration. It's time to start celebrating the little things in life. Start finding gratitude and joy. When you start off, it's going to be the little things, but they'll get bigger and bigger and bigger, and you will notice that things are shifting in your life, and they will shift in all areas, and eventually they will shift with your connection with your beloved. But it starts with you, Divine Feminine. It starts with you. It's time to stop crying over spilt milk. Now, for some, how you muddy the waters is it's multiple women. You're trying to choose between two women. For some, you've muddied the waters because you've gone into partying and drinking and again, not learning this lesson, not healing, not recovering, not letting go. Oh, okay. So this, obviously, it's very phallic. Very phallic. So for some of you, this person that you're supposed to be letting go of, this can also speak of conception, infertility. So for those of you that this was a love connection, and you and your ex-wife or you and your ex-girlfriend, you were not able to conceive. Because they're saying there's something about children. You were not able to. So for those of you that there's a person you're supposed to be letting go, you weren't able to get her pregnant. You were never able. So for some of you, you were married or together for years and years and years and years, yet you never conceived a child. They're saying that's another sign that you were not meant to be together. God was protecting you. God was protecting a child by blocking the two of you from ever conceiving children together. So for those of you that, you're still having not issues, but you're just still having trouble making your decision, which they're saying they're not sure why you're having trouble making your decision, because they have given you so much intuitive information and signs and synchronicities. But for those of you that still need more, the person in the situation you need to let go of, it's been turbulent, it's been difficult, it's been one block after the other for years, and you have never been able to have a child with that person because God did not want you with that person, did not want you having a child with that person, would not allow the two of you to create life together. And for some of you, that has been a problem. Now, the interesting thing is, for some of you, there's two women. Because what muddied the waters is, for some of you, you got someone pregnant. But then there were miscommunications, misunderstandings. But it wasn't this person. So for some of you, it's choosing between two people. They're saying it wasn't. So for some of you, you didn't. It was a pregnancy, you lost the baby. For those of you in that situation, I'm very sorry. That is a painful thing to go through. For both parties. It's extremely painful for both to go through. But the way that it happened, that it transpired, there were misunderstandings between the two of you. And because of those misunderstandings, it muddied the waters. So for some of you, this is a person that you are destined to be with. Because they're saying it just wasn't, there was divine timing at play. So for some of you, it's a divine partner. It's a soulmate. It's your twin. The time was not right. There was still healing and things that had to be healed, things that had to be released, and the time was not right. But because it happened, there were these misunderstandings and heartbreak. So what should have been joyful, that could have been joyful, leading to a celebration, it didn't. Okay. Now, All right. Now, as far as what is unknown to you, we have the Two of Wands. And this is all about, you see the figure, he's standing there. It's like he has to make a decision. A decision must be made. And the Wands are all about action. So it's really about taking the action, making the decision that you need to make. Now, sometimes this card can be about, a failed marriage. Because, having everything but longing for more. So for some of you that this was a romantic partner, like you thought, okay, they're the one, they're my soulmate, they're my love of my lifetime, this is the one for me. But you were still left longing. It still didn't make you happy. There were a lot of quarrels. Right now you're in a state of grief and sadness and melancholy. Because it wasn't everything. But for all of you in this situation, you've come to a point that it's time to make a decision. You see, he's come to a crossroad. And he has to make his decision based off of his inner knowing. Because from his vantage point, he can see a deer and he can see the wand. Because they're close. So they appear like two very similar choices. So it's difficult for him to see beyond the horizon, to see that, okay, well, one choice comes with a really big mountain to climb. For some, already been so busy and worn out, I'm beat, I'm tattered, I'm worn down from climbing mountains. I just can't do anymore, but he can't see it. And he can't see that the one choice has this massive mountain, looks like a lightning bolt, has these birds, these hawks that are going to swoop down and eat up everything, stealing everything from him. Is choice A. But choice B, what he's not seeing on the horizon, is there's this tiny little hill. It's like pink above it. It's like yellow. Okay, so for some, the two choices, one is actually founded on money. The other is actually founded on love. But again, he can't see that because it's very far on the horizon. And then you see the one choice, the path is clear. You see, get behind, and the path is completely clear. No issues. Over here, the other choice, the path is blocked. It's obscured. And it's also very dark over here, and it's illuminated over here. So from his vantage point, it would appear that the choices are similar. But they're not. They're two totally different choices. One is the correct best choice for him, the other is not. But because he doesn't know those other things, because he has uncertainty, he's not making a choice. He's like, okay, well, I can't really see past the wand, so I'm just going to sit here in indecisiveness and do nothing. But the time has come for you to trust your intuition, to trust your gut, to trust your knowing, and move forward bravely, to stop the stagnation. Because wands are all about action. This is the time to take action. It's not a time to stand still and do nothing. But what's unknown to you is that if you can take that action, if you can trust your gut and trust your intuition, because they're saying those of you that are trying to make this decision, you already know what the right choice is. But you're afraid because for some of you, this is a divine love. And when it comes to divine loves, particularly twins, it's like everything's like in your head. You're like, okay, am I making this stuff up? I think I'm making it up. But you're not. You see their name all the time. You see signs, synchronicities, things about them all the time. You know the direction that you're supposed to be going in. You know the direction that is the right choice for you. It's time to make that decision. It's time to forge forward, to take those steps. It's time to take the action steps. Because they're saying that you already know. You fear a difficult climb. You fear of having everything that you own that belongs to you being stolen and gobbled up by the hawks. Because that's what you've known to this point. That's all you've known to this point with love. They're saying that you've been in romantic situations. You've been with partners that just can't be trusted. And you fear that happening again. But they've given you so many signs and synchronicities that if you can just trust the path not taken, trust the unknown, you'll be making the choice of love. You'll be making the right choice. You'll be making the choice that will make your heart sing, that will bring you happiness, that will fulfill you. Because a lot of you have not been fulfilled. If you look, so the card that we had at the bottom of the deck, this is 8 of Cups. And this, it's all about, you see how he's got his back to all these cups. So he's tasted all these cups. He's taken a little sip from all of them, but he's still not satisfied. And you see this mole? The mole is all about like blindness. You know, not really seeing things clearly. Because he's got the moon again. Totally, the moon is in front of him. There are things that he's not seen. There's things that he's refused to see. But he's taken sips out of all these cups, but it's still not satisfied him. It's still left him feeling as though like something's missing. And for some, like he's turned to shallow comfort. So he's turned to other women and drinking, but he's turned to those things, and even those things, just they're not bringing gratification. He's dissatisfied. But the moon is rising. So he can't ignore this call any longer to make the decision. He can't ignore the call any longer to get onto his destined path. It's his soul calling him. It's the desires in his heart calling him to make a choice, to leave behind what has previously attracted him and nurtured him and emotionally sustained him. Because those things aren't working any longer. They're not working anymore. He's become better. He's grown. He's evolved. He's learned his lessons. He's ready to forge forward and find something that will bring meaning. And he's being led by his intuition, because again, the moon is all about intuition. Because something is missing in your life. So for those of you, this is a situation, and you have refused to let go of that person or that situation, business partner, you just clung to them, you've not been satisfied. It's time to leave that behind. Now, as far as what they recommend you do, we have a major arcana, and it's the only major arcana in this spread, and it is the moon. Now, it's interesting because you see those two pillars? It's again like, Allie, get down. Sorry, hopefully the puppy doesn't knock the camera down. It's again about two. Most of you are trying to choose between two people. And in the moon, again, it's all about our intuition, synchronicity. You know, it's also about facing our fears and the illusions that are keeping us from our destined path, because you have the wheel, and the wheel is all about karma, destiny, fate. And being overwhelmed by emotions. So for some of you, you have felt overwhelmed by emotions. There's been a lot of misunderstandings and clouded perceptions, hidden motives, deception, lies, some secrets. But the moon is giving just enough light to illuminate those things. But for some of you, you've still been ignoring those. So for some of you, this person, they lie to you, they deceive you. But you just, you know, because the moon doesn't give, the moon's not the sun. It's like, it's not blasting light on it. So you've been choosing to ignore it. You've been choosing to ignore what your heart, your intuition was telling you about this person and the situation. But you can't do that any longer. The time has come. You've been on the wrong path. They're trying to get you onto the right path that will bring you joy, bring you happiness. But you have to look at the truth. You have to face those things. You have to clear things up. You also have to face your fears. So for some of you, you know that you're being guided to choose a different person. You know you're being guided to do things differently. But you stubbornly have not done so out of fear. Out of, okay, well, I really want these things. I really desire these things, but what if it's not really my cards? What if it's not really meant to be? It's time to trust your intuition, because you're also getting some of you are getting a lot of information in your dreams. You're being divinely guided down a new path now. It's time to face those fears. It's time to see things clearly. It's time to see things as they truly are. And it's time to move forward bravely. Now you see how there's this, hopefully you guys can see that. See this little crawfish, crayfish that's sitting there? He's like taking a swim. He's taking a swim in the water. It's like he's cleansing himself. He's cleansing himself of his fears. He's cleansing himself of his worries, and also cleansing himself of any previous behaviors and patterns and things that have kept him from his path, kept him from his destiny. But you also see these two dogs that are howling. So for some, you also need to cleanse yourself of those, instinctive, animal instinct-like behaviors like dogs. Okay, so for some of you, they're saying muddy in the water with multiple women, multiple partners. So for some of you, what you need to do is it's time to tame the dog in you, to stop the dog-like behavior. Because it's not bringing you fulfillment. So for some of you, you're just playing the field, and for some of you, you keep returning to that ex. It's simply, it's like you're trying to scratch an itch, but you're not finding fulfillment of it. It's not working because that's not working for you anymore. Just filling those basic natural instincts, they're not working. You desire something deeper, more meaningful. It's no longer working for you. And for some of you, you have, played the field for years. Because you have, you've not wanted. You want to be like a wolf. You didn't want to be a domesticated dog. So you're like, okay, well, I'm not going to be tied down. So for some of you, this was an open relationship where you were both able to play around, play the field. But now you don't want that. So in the past, you have not wanted to be tied down, not wanted to be the domesticated dog. But now you're desiring something more meaningful. So for some of you, it's time to cleanse yourself of those previous behaviors and activities, because they have you destined for something greater, and you'll find fulfillment in it. And they're saying for some of you, you will still, they're saying it's like you're going to end up in a committed relationship, but you will still have, it's not like going to be freedom where you can sleep around each other, but you'll have ultimate still freedom. You're not going to feel like you're chained and stuck. Now, for some of you, what you need to do, so for some of you that this is a divine partnership, and so you have a twin flame or a soulmate, and they have played the field. Well, so for some of you, what you need to do, divine feminine, is there needs to be some cleansing and healing, because for some of you, you had parents and your father was repeatedly cheating on your mother. So then you come into this divine relationship. They're trying to move that karmic wheel, that wheel that the two of you are fated to come together. They're trying to bring the two of you together. But now you're so upset about things that have transpired in the past that you're like, oh my gosh, he's nothing but a dog. He's gonna cheat. Because for those of you in the situation, you're like, okay, every man cheats. I thought he was different. I thought he was better than that. I really thought he was better than that. But all of his behavior tell me the opposite. They tell me he lies, he cheats, he's not open, he's secretive. I don't want anything to do with that. But you're blocking things. You're blocking things. So for those of you in this situation, particularly twin flames, there are some things that you don't know, but things have also shifted and changed. You've both grown and developed. But he's changed, and not everyone is a dog, and people can change. But they're saying that you have to release that. You have to release that mindset. Because for some of you, it's not only going to block you from your twin flame or your soulmate from coming in, it's going to block you from any and all love from coming in. if you fear that every man is going to cheat and he's going to up and leave you and disappear, and they're intuitively telling you otherwise. So for some of you that are in relationships that aren't good and aren't pretty, that's not applicable. For those of you that this is a message for you, you'll know it's going to resonate with you. For some of you, they're saying they're even going to make like sometimes like the angels, they'll make creaks, or it's almost like they knock on a wall, they make a noise to tell you, hey, listen up. Those of you that this is applicable, they're going to be doing those types of things for you. Things aren't what they seem. You haven't received all clarity and information. Again, it's the moon. So you also don't know the entire story as to what's been going on with him. So be open, be trusting, let those thoughts go, let those blocks go. Forgive him, also forgive yourself. And so that you can be open and you can be ready for this destiny, these things that are fated. Like they're trying to move the wheel forward with you, the two of you. See these pillars of light, like twin flames. Those are like flames. They're trying, so for those of you that are twin flames, they're trying to bring you together. But for this wheel to move, you have to forgive him. Because there are things that you don't know. So for those of you that he kept going back to next, or he was playing the field with all these other people, there are things that you're not aware of. It may have appeared to you as one thing, but for some of you, it was something different. You don't know that yet. You won't know that until you can forgive and release and change your mindset, which will allow him to come in. Okay, so real quick, because I have to leave for an appointment shortly, let's find out what this lesson is. So what's this lesson, this person, this situation you're supposed to be getting rid of? Okay, so I have one on that. So you have the Mercante, and this is the merchant. You see how he's also like in meditation, thought, contemplation. This is also about, agreements and contracts, things that bind you. See how he's looking out over the sea? So for some of you, this is they need you to let go of someone that you have a contract with. Could be a business contract, a business agreement. For some, it's also like a marriage contract. But for some of you, it's almost like, you see how he's got his wares around him. It's like he's waiting for his ship to come in. He's waiting for his goods to come in. So for some of you, it's like you have invested so much in this relationship, romantic or business relationship, partnership, that you're like, I am not losing everything. I'm not losing everything. I refuse. But again, this card in this position says, do not do it. Let it go. Break yourself free of that. It's time to end that contract and that agreement. And just chalk up the losses to, okay, I learned a big lesson. I'm able to finally move forward. Okay. So 4. Okay. So the gift, thoughts, distant horizons, and the false person. So let's see here. Okay. Let me hold these up one at a time so you guys can see them. So we have the gift. We have he's in thought, contemplation, distant horizons, and false person. Okay. So there's a person. We'll cover her in a minute. So again, you know how he's like looking for a ship to come in? So for some of you, this it's a person that you have to let go of. And it's a person that you have always gifted them. So for some of you, you've gifted them things because they made you think, I need your help. I need your help. I need your help financially. I need your help physically. They know that for some of you, it's almost like you want to be the knight in shining armor. You want to come in, you want to save the day, and they know that, and they feed upon that. So they make you they make you think like, oh my gosh, I need you. I need your help. I need you now. Come to my rescue. It's like the moment that you get their call, you come to the rescue. And for some of you, it's almost like you get off on it. Like you enjoy that. You enjoy knowing that you're at their beck and call. And for some of you, you're actually contemplating going back to it again because you don't even live near each other. And for some of you, you're doing it for reasons because distant horizons, it's also about, your hopes and dreams being fulfilled. See all these brightly colored flags? And there's like an anchor, you want to anchor your ship there because you think that this is going to make everything that I desired, all my dreams, my hopes, they're going to come to fruition. So you have this person, she calls you, oh my gosh, I need your help, I need money, I need you here, and you swoop in. And for some of you, your intentions are right. You think something's going to come of it, but it doesn't. It never does. Every time you're always left out in the cold. Once you've come to their aid financially, you're left alone. They're saying for some of you, it's almost like you're left alone holding the bag. Yeah, so for some of you, it's financially tied. They need your, see how the package is gold? They need your money. But those of you in the situation, it's a person that this has been a repeated cycle. You don't live near each other. You are at a distance. So for some of you, you have to cross over water or cross over a lake, or one of you lives by water. But every time they call, you swoop in. And every time they leave you alone. Once they get whatever it is that they were wanting from you. Because it's a person that's been very deceptive. See how she has her fan? She's like hiding her true expression. So it's like she pulls you in with kind words, but it's nothing but deception. It's lies. She makes it look sugary sweet, but even salt looks like sugar. And it leaves a bitter taste in your mouth. So it's like, it's bitter, it's super sweet. Oh, she looks so good. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to swoop to the rescue. And then it leaves a bitter taste in your mouth every time. And for some of you, you end up leaving with less money. That's why you're so focused on money. But there's a lot of deception. This is also about, this false person is lying to you. They're dishonest. They're doing something behind your back that's against you and that you aren't even aware of it. Lots of lies, deceit, treachery, not trusting what you can see. They show one thing, but they're hiding those things. See how like he's in a mask behind her? And he's like, he's sinister. He's in a mask. It's like, what's being hidden? What's not being shared? And this is all about lovers of trouble, manipulators, frenemies. It's really screaming, watch out for this person. Now, and again, change the sex accordingly, but what they're saying is for many of you, you are a man trying to make a decision. It's about a woman. But it has been, it's played out this cycle for years. For years. See? It's like this endless loop. So for some of you, you've even felt like, oh, I feel like they're my soulmate. Oh, I feel like it. But they've shown and proven to you time and time again that they're not. Time and time again, they are not. And they pull you in with sweet words and sweet promises. And for a lot of you, they really do play on you rescuing them. I need your help. And you answer that call every single time. Every single time. When meanwhile, God and angels are screaming, no, stop doing that. Let them go. You deserve better. And you keep going back. Okay, so for those of you that have children nearby, you might want to put it on mute for a moment. This is an adult channel. Okay, so for guys, those of you that are in this situation, see how he's wearing a mask? The two of you haven't been honest with each other. It's as though you have some kinky fuckery going on between the two of you, is what they're saying. you both wear masks. Neither of you are honest with each other. Neither of you are upfront with each other. It's like you come together for some sexual kinky stuff. But also they're saying kinky fucker. They also F with you in other areas. So you might enjoy some S&M activities with each other, but every time you end up getting, they're saying every time you get screwed over, every time you lose with this person. And for some of you, it has been based on sex. So for some of you, they pull you in with sex. They pull you in with those things. Now, not all, because for many of you, it's like they pull you in with promises of, you know, we're going to make this happen. This is going to work this time. And it never does, because they're lying. They're wearing a mask. They're wearing a mask. And they have the entire time that the two of you have been together. It's an endless loop of that. It's simply something, a lesson that you are fated to learn. They're saying it's not even fated. They're saying it's a karmic lesson. So for some of you, this is a person you knew in a past life, and they did you wrong in a past life. So for some of you, they killed you in a past life. They killed you. They let you die. But they did you wrong in a past life. They did you wrong. So instead of learning that lesson and letting them go and breaking those chains, you're like, oh, more please. Keep serving that misery up on a plate, because I'm a masochist. I apparently love misery. It's time to break that cycle. It's not fated. They're saying it's a karmic cycle that you were meant to break free from. That's all. Now, real quick, because we are almost out of time, let's move these out of the way. I am going to pull a card around this. Okay. So they want me to pull a card from each of these decks real quick on some quick clarifiers, what you're to do. Okay, so Mother Mary, we have children. And at the bottom it says, my heart is filled with love for children, which creates miracles and positive change for them and me. Okay. And we have quiet. I go into peaceful silence and I listen. So you know how they were saying earlier there was something with a pregnancy. Okay. So for some of you, the choice that they're trying to get you to make is to move forward with someone. And there are issues surrounding a child. A child that, I guess for most of you, it's a child that you had together. Not a children that they have from someone else, but a child that you had, you know, when they were talking about that pregnancy. So for some of you, this is a divine love. It was an unexpected pregnancy. It's like the white elephant in the room that the two of you have never discussed. And you both have had heartbreak because of it, but you've never discussed it. But she's been left alone, out in the cold. She's alone, both of them. But you both need to hear each other's side of the story, because, you know, they were saying it's time to clear up the misunderstandings. So for those of you that they're trying to get you to make the choice and to move forward with the divine love, where there have been some things have come up with a child between the two of you, it's time to clear up those misunderstandings. It's time to have those conversations with each other, because it hurt each other. It hurt you both. You both hurt each other, but they're saying that it was complete misunderstandings. You're not. There are things that you both don't know because you haven't had those conversations. Okay, now, Archangel Michael. We have make a commitment. And at the bottom it says, Archangel Michael, as the angel of courage and confidence, I call upon you to lend me your strength. Allow me to commit to myself, my life, and my divine purpose. Please clearly guide me so I can fully open my heart to every experience. Okay. Okay. And go forward fearlessly. And at the bottom it says, thank you for walking with me every step of the way, for holding my hand, giving me confidence and courage, and guiding my thoughts and actions in the direction of love and my true life's purpose. So for most of you, this is love related. They're trying to get you to make a decision about love, to commit to someone. And for most of you, it's a commitment to a divine love, a divine partner. And because there are things that you don't see, but you have all this intuitive information, all this intuitive knowing, it is time for you to move forward fearlessly and to make, they're saying, make a commitment to them, which is also in turn making a commitment to yourself, because you desire these things. You want these things. You want a firm foundation. You want something that you can count on. You want to break these two flames together so you can create something beautiful together. But it is going to take a leap of faith. You are going to have to move forward without fear. Because again, this card also speaks about overcoming your fears. It is time to overcome your fears. Make the decision, commit to the decision, move forward. And last, we have, it's beautiful, believing in magic. And at the bottom, it says, true magic is abounding in my life. And they went to the bottom again. Starting fresh. So for many of you, this is a twin flame connection. You have the yin and yang. And at the bottom, it says, a wonderful new beginning is blossoming in my life. So also for those of you that need to forgive some things, let things go. It will lead to a new beginning. If you can make a decision and make a commitment and overcome your fears, and on both sides of the house, you need to overcome your fears. You will have a brand new beginning, and it will be magical. And on both sides, really it is in trusting that intuitive information. Because on both sides of the house, they're saying divine feminine, you think it's completely over. You think it's dead. But your intuition's telling you otherwise. Your heart's telling you otherwise. You need to trust that. And if there's any work that you need to do, forgiveness, healing, any of that stuff, you need to jump in there like the little crawfish, cleanse yourself off, let those things go. Do that. Because there are things that you don't know, there are things that you've not seen, but cleanse yourself, get ready, believe in magic, and trust and know that you will have a new beginning. And they're in perfect balance. They perfectly complement each other. Twin flames are each other's other half. Perfect complements of each other. It will be magical. And for those of you that are divine masculine that have been fearful of making a decision because you're like, oh my gosh, what if I just repeat the disasters that I've had before? What if I have my heart broken again? What if these things that I believe about her are true? Or what if it's not going to work out? Because I get these signs, I see her name all the time. Oh my gosh, I can't get her out of my head all the time. I feel her, I hear her. I think I'm going crazy sometimes. Sometimes I think I should be taken to a padded room in an institute because I really think I'm losing it. But you're not. You are divine love. You are each other's other half. You are each other's other complement. But you are going to have to trust that knowing. And believe in the magic, because you are going to be receiving the things that you desire, the things that you want. And heaven knows, you've been through enough already. It's time for things to get better. They are going to get better. It will be magical. Now, you want me to read the book real quick? I'm going to be late for my appointment. Okay, we're going to get through this. See, I thought I could actually get one done in under an hour. Okay, so I'm going to read the book real quick. And Believing in Magic. Okay. So, believing in magic. It is indeed a magical universe. Spiritual dimensions and mystical realms are only a thought away. The key to opening these doors is to trust in something you cannot see or hear. Again, your intuition. Trust it. For those of you that this is a twin flame connection, you're about to have the most magical experience anyone can ever experience. It's what storybooks are made of, which is why people don't believe that it's true, but it really is. And you have it within reach. But you have to believe it. You have to trust that intuitive knowing. You can have doubts, yet still believe in a vast and mysterious universe where signs, symbols, and coincidences reveal secret messages. Even if your faith is the size of a mustard seed, magic can abound. Believe. The universe wants you to know some things are true, even if you don't believe them. It's hard to comprehend how something as heavy as a jumbo jet can fly, but it does. When you make an overseas call, it's hard to believe that your voice travels into space and bounces back, but it does. And it's sometimes hard to believe that angels are looking over us, but they are. Here's to believing in magic. And ask yourself some questions. How can I access even more magic in my life? What is the most important way for me to step into true magic? If I truly believed in magic, in what ways would my life be different? So, it is a magical time. This is a beautiful reading. It really, really is. Even though a number of you are at the final point of letting something go, learning that final lesson, you've already done the hard work, they're saying. You've already done the hard work. A lot of you have already actually separated from that person. You just haven't made it official. And for some of you, not been made official, they're trying to pull you back in. You just have to nip that in the bud and finally end that. And they'll help you with that because they have something beautiful for you, something magical, and you deserve it. So I do wish you all an amazing week filled with a lot of love, joy, and blessings. August is going to be amazing. I can't wait to hear all of your stories and how this pans out for you. So within the next couple weeks, so for some of you, it could even be play into the late August, but most of you are going to start to see it playing out in the next week or so. But let me know how it plays out. I do wish you an amazing week with lots of love, joy, and blessings.